Western Hemisphere, a man of iron will who led a revolution and overthrew an oppressive dictator, only to become, his critics say, a dictator himself.
I am not afraid of saying I'm a convinced communist. I feel honored of being a communist, and I will be till the last breath.
Fidel Castro was born August 13, 1926, the son of sugar farmers. He attended Catholic schools and later the University of Havana, where he graduated in 1950 with a law degree. He joined the Cuban People's Party in 1947, attracted by its stand against poverty and unemployment. He led a large and popular guerrilla force, and in 1959, they overthrew Cuba's hated dictatorship and captured the world's attention.
En directo, desde la Plaza de la Patria.
Some social services were quickly expanded, but some civil liberties were suspended. Castro had counted on some support from the United States, but as he formed relations with the Soviet Union, President Dwight Eisenhower imposed a trade embargo. Diplomatic relations were soon broken off, driving, some say, Castro into a deeper partnership with the Soviets and with communism. In 1961, President Kennedy approved a CIA invasion by Cuban exiles at the Bay of Pigs, an ill-conceived, ill-planned attack that was a total failure. The next year, Castro allowed the Soviets to put nuclear missiles in Cuba, setting up an international crisis.
I have directed the armed forces to prepare for any eventualities.
Well, some of his domestic programs worked. Illiteracy, for example, was all but wiped out, and health care was guaranteed. The U.S. blockade and embargo took its toll. It was so bad that by 1980, thousands boarded boats at a small port called Mariel, bound for Florida, risking their lives to get to the United States. Ultimately, Moscow stepped in with financial aid. But as the Soviet system crumbled, so did, again, Cuba's economy, leaving Castro bitter but not beaten.
With the demise of the Soviet Union, we have suffered the equivalent to a treason. We have also felt betrayed.
With the economy in a freefall, nearly 1.5 million Cubans made their way to the U.S. Later, Castro would be highly embarrassed when his own daughter fled the troubled country. Castro had been reported in failing health before. He fainted during a 2001 speech. Later, he broke an arm and leg in a fall. All the while, the older generation of Cuban exiles were waiting and hoping for Castro's death. But for every detractor, Fidel Castro had ardent supporters. He turned Cuba into an international player. He was a flawed leader whose great strides in social democracy came at a cost in human rights. But in the end, he leaves unanswered his prediction that his brand of socialism will outlive him. Bill Ritter, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.